Ladies and gentlemen, button pushers and wrench turners, welcome to another episode of Something's Broken. My name's Tayler Goodyear, and I own TG CNC Service out of Wisconsin. So I just kind of wanted to go over last week before July 4th. We had a lot of shit go on in the matter of 3-4 days before the holiday, and I just wanted to kind of go over what happened. I'll try to make it as quick as possible, but a lot of good things came out of it, and it's yeah, it's really cool, man. Monday, I had a meeting with a customer that my contractor has been at for a 4-week long service PM contract agreement, basically. Anyways, the head of maintenance put us 2 weeks in, and last week was his last week. So we wanted to figure out like what was gonna happen when he's gone. Like, is that the end of the service agreement? Or are we gonna extend it? Is there any way we can help? Like, what's up? So we sat down. We had the meeting. The meeting went fucking great. They want to extend Cam's presence. He's been there 2 days a week, every week for 4 weeks, and now they want to extend it for an unforeseen amount of time. We're predicting a minimum of probably 6 months now. So Cam is going to be on site at this customer 2 days a week for the next 6 months, probably, if not longer, and it could turn into a yearly contract agreement with them. So that was wild. Since I've been in business, I've tried to solidify service agreements. I've tried to solidify guaranteed work, and I always get smoke blown by customers. And now we finally got it, and it's cool, man. It's really cool. And Cam's doing a fucking kick-ass job, dude. He's so not only is he doing, there's two maintenance guys in the shop to like 50 or 60 CNCs plus Fanuc robots, and two maintenance guys, and they're not like to the aptitude of like machine repair. Like, there's some stuff that they can handle, but they're mostly just like PM guys for the most part, oils, coolant, shit like that. And the real repair guy ended up leaving. So it's kind of grown. It's growing into now. Cam is taking on more responsibilities, like almost the responsibilities of the maintenance manager that was there, and now he left. And they're asking for Cam to kind of take on that responsibility. Now I sat down and I was like, so what exactly do you want Cam to do? Do you want him to kind of tell you guys what to do? Is that what you're looking for? And they're like, yeah, that's what we want. I was like, okay, yeah. I mean, I honestly couldn't think of a better guy to do it than contractor Cam. Cam's the shit, man. Like, that dude's doing great, man. He's doing great. I wish I could get him some more training with me, but he's stuck on 2 days a week with me right now, and now he's stuck at this customer his 2 days a week. But he's doing fucking awesome, man. I couldn't be happier for that guy. I'm proud of him, honestly. He's doing great. He's learning a lot on his own, and he's not making really any mistakes, and he's getting machines fixed. Coming when he first started with me, he didn't know shit about CNCs, and now this man's fucking doing ball screws and shit. So it's really cool. So keep you guys posted on that. Cam is literally putting out fires every day there, keeping machines going while trying to do PMs with the other two maintenance guys. So he's got a lot going on right now there. So he keeps me updated on what he does on a daily basis, and sometimes calls me when he needs to, so I can answer questions for him and shit like that, and help him over the phone where I can. So yeah. Good things, man. Really good things. After that, I went to one of my local customers. They had an acro grinder that Cam and I have done a bunch of electrical work on that had a big short. Well, it shorted again after like, I don't know, 5-6 months of running consistently with no issues. Something shorted in the cabinet again. So I showed up and I try to explain to the customer that I don't like the quick disconnect, or yeah, just like the electrical disconnect. They have a box right above the electrical cabinet, and it's leaking coolant into the electrical cabinet from the disconnect, because it's literally right next to the grinder head, like really fucking close to it. So it's just spraying coolant mist all over it, and it's dripping into the cabinet. I told the customer the last time we were there, get rid of it. I don't like it. Get rid of it. Just have a single piece of conduit coming down, running your leads in, seal it as tight as possible, silicone it, I don't care, seal it. And they didn't do it. Whatever. And this time I was like, I'm not touching this electrical cabinet until you remove that disconnect, and the disconnect that's on the wall, you fuse it, because there's no fuses on it, and the breaker is not tripping for it in the main panel. So I'm like, well, we're going to add some more safety to the circuit, because I'm hoping that the fuse would have blown. And this is such an old machine that there's no fuses controlling the incoming power, which fucking blows my mind. And it's not blowing any other fuse inside the cabinet. It's got a bunch of fuses in there, but nothing's blowing, but shit is shorting. So they got the disconnect removed, they got the conduit sealed, and they fused the other disconnect that's on the wall. So I will be going back in there and taking a look at that, and throwing the power and seeing what's shorting, which I fucking hate doing, but I gotta figure out what's going on. So Tuesday, I went to another customer that's got these old Tornos machines, man, and they needed an X-axis belt swapped on probably the worst axis to try to get to. It fucking sucked, dude. It was so buried inside this machine, but I got it. It took me a couple hours, but man, it was a fucking bitch. They have a Hydra bar that kind of took a shit on them and is like pissing hydraulic oil. So they asked me if I could rebuild it, and I was like, I could. I just don't have the time to do it. So I asked Cam if he wanted to make some extra money and tear this fucking thing apart at his shop and figure out why it's leaking so much. And so we got together. He trailered up. We went over there. It's a 12-foot long, if not longer, Hydra bar pusher, basically. So he got it back to his shop. He got it all tore apart. We're pretty sure we figured out what's going on and why it's leaking. We just gotta get the parts figured out and ordered. So went back to another customer. They swapped a chip conveyor on a Kuma V80, and when they started the machine back up, the machine had been down for a while. So when they started it back up, one of the drives had fan alarms. And usually it's the radiator fan, not the intake fan. So swapped it in the radiator fan and took care of it. And reinstalled the FANUC drive, no issues. That was pretty straightforward. Another customer that I have been, dude, shout out to them, because they have waited and waited for me, because June was just insane and I was out of town the entire month, and they were willing to wait for me to come have a meeting with them about getting some shit repaired in their shop, and they waited the entire time, and finally I got in there. So Wednesday I had that meeting with them, on site at their facility, and they have some FANUC EDM machines that need some seals replaced on the tanks. So got in there, got eyes on it, seeing what was going on. I got to go back in there to figure out what parts need to be ordered. I'm trying to schedule that relatively soon. And then they've got some Haas's in there that need some TLC on them, so I think there's going to be quite a bit of work that comes out of that shop, and then yeah, hopefully we're solidified in there, and they call us for all their service needs in the future. So that was a good meeting, really good meeting for sure. So um, trying to think, Cam. Trying to think of what fires he was putting out last week. He was in there Wednesday and Thursday, I think, of last week. Um, had to tighten the belts on a Doosan 400L, I believe it was. When they signaled a M5 to turn the spindle off, the spindle wouldn't stop fast enough within the allotted time in the ladder. So it would throw a spindle alarm. So Cam got a hold of Ellison because I just really couldn't figure out over the phone. Like, you know, I asked, well, is there a brake? You know, is there hydraulics? What? And we got kind of lost in translation talking to each other. It's a pretty old machine, and we found out it has neither of those. So Cam reached out to Ellison, and we got some input from them, and we tightened up belts. We didn't think it was the belts, but it ended up being the belts. So just had to tighten the belts up a little bit. We're going to get them replaced, and then yeah, it should be okay. But the machine is back up and running, which is good. So I flew out to Seattle. I go out to Seattle every July 4th. I've been going out there for about 4 or 5 years now. I've got a good buddy out there that I used to work with at an OEM that was my trainer, and we became really good friends. And he invites me out every year for July 4th. He throws a big party out there. So, but that's not important. What I want to talk about is I was in the United Lounge, and I was having a conversation with Cam on the phone about a Mazak that needed to get a ball screw replaced. And there was a gentleman sitting across from me at the table. Now, I wasn't like screaming my conversation, but, you know, obviously this guy was in, you know, earshot distance. And I said Mazak plenty of times on the phone, right? So I had my laptop open. I'm talking to Cam, and all of a sudden I get an email. It's an inquiry about getting PMs done on machines at this guy's shop. And I'm like, oh, speaking of that, Cam, I just got another inquiry about a customer. And I'm like reading it, and then all of a sudden a business card comes flying at me from across the table. So apparently the guy that was sitting across from me owns his own machine shop in Illinois, and is wanting us to overheard my conversation, and is tired of working with OEM service because they can't ever get anybody in fast enough, and has now scheduled me for next week to come in and start putting together a PM service process for him. I mean, what? Dude, shit like that doesn't just happen to me, man. Like, that was fucking cool, dude. I mean, I'm still in shock over it. Like, that I'm always cautious when good things happen to me because they don't happen often. But it was really cool, man. We had a quick conversation with each other. We sent some emails back and forth about pricing and processes and shit like that. And he's like, yeah, let's start with the first machine and go from there. So I'll be going down there next week, Tuesday, I believe, and looking at one of his Mazaks that he wants fully PM'd. So we'll start that machine, get that machine knocked out, and if he's happy with our service, then who knows, maybe our foot would be in the door for repair service, and maybe he'll have his fucking PM the rest of his machines. Who knows? But it was really cool experience, man. Yeah, that never happens to me. Never happens. But man, I do not take it for granted at all, and I am extremely grateful for the opportunities that I've acquired since starting my business, and it's only going up, man. Like, it's getting busy and busy and busy, and I'm struggling keeping up. And now Cam is struggling keeping up, which are great things to have, but you know, it's still, you gotta still find balance, because if you can't take care of all your other customers, and eventually they're going to start calling other people, and now you're going to start losing customers. So that's what's always in the back of my mind when I start getting really, really busy is, okay, how am I going to balance and then still be able to take care of everybody that needs to get taken care of as they call as soon as possible, because that's how my company is sold. It's sold on response time. I can get there faster than the OEM, so when I start losing that, what's the point of them even calling me anymore? So we'll keep playing it. We'll keep going from there. So motivation time. All right. Breaking fucking plateaus, man. I've talked about this a couple of times. Breaking plateaus. Right now, I am at a weight loss plateau. I am not losing any more weight. And I did a pretty brutal cut for June, all of June. And I had some really good results. I didn't weigh myself because I don't really care what the scale says because I'm still lifting heavy. So I'm still kind of body comping. But when you're in a deficit, you're not really going to build much muscle mass. You just more or less want to maintain your muscle mass for the most part, and make sure that your body doesn't muscle down, which means using your muscle as energy. We don't want that. We want our bodies to use fat and glycogen stores as energy. Well, when you're in a deficit, glycogen stores get depleted awfully fast, and especially if you're low carb, which I am, so I don't have much glycogen stores as it is for energy. So I am trying to tap into my fat stores as much as possible for energy. But I think I may have hit a plateau, and I think I'm eating too less. And I just want to share my experience and what I think I need to change, and maybe this might be something for somebody else, for you to change. But I think I hit a plateau, and I think I'm eating too little. Yes, you're hearing me correctly. I think I'm eating too little. I think I'm eating too less of a deficit for my body to really break through a plateau. So I think I'm going to increase my calories a little bit. I've been shooting around 2,500 calories at the weight that I'm at. The last time I checked, I was like, I don't know, 240, some shit like that. So my logical calorie intake was roughly 3,500 calories to lose a half a pound a week. Well, I wanted to do kind of like OMAD, intermittent fasting, because I like that. I see really good results when I intermittent fast, and my body feels a lot better when I intermittent fast. I don't have a gallbladder, so digesting food takes a hell of a lot longer in my body. I've explained this in one of my podcasts before. So sometimes you just gotta give your body a fucking break, man. And fasting is a really good tool to do that. I've fasted for 30 hours. I've fasted for 40 hours before. I try not to go more than 40 hours, especially if you're weightlifting really heavy on that, because eventually you'll get lightheaded and want to pass out because you're depleted and everything. And it's at that point, there's no point in really working out because you're not replenishing to build muscle or even sustain it. That's just my experience. I'm not saying that's what you should do or not do. I'm just sharing my experience on what I've done and what's worked for me. So, breaking a plateau, change up your calories a little bit. Change up maybe what you're eating, a little bit more protein, maybe a little bit more carbs. Fiber is a very big thing for your body as well too. If you're not digesting and you're constipated, that will fuck your system up very easily, and it will fuck up your microbiome that's in your stomach as well too. And I can't tell you how important microbiome is in your stomach for digestion and just overall health, man. Stay up on yogurt, a lot of probiotics, prebiotics, supplement where you need to supplement that you don't think you're getting. A lot of people are deficient in vitamin D3, even though we get outside or we don't get outside. Some of us that work in factories day in and day out, we're not getting sun. Vitamin D3 is very anabolic. So you want that. Anabolic is good. You want anabolic, and D3 is one of the most anabolic supplements or vitamin nutrients in your body. So, yeah. Trying to think. Calories, yeah, switch them up. If you're hitting a plateau on weight loss, you're probably eating too less, and you need to up the calories a little bit to see that weight change. So, I hope this helps, guys. Anyways, my name's Taylor Goodyear. I own TG CNC Service out of Wisconsin. I will check in with you guys probably next weekend. I appreciate you for tuning in. We'll see you guys.